Hi all, welcome back to more Europa Universalis, the price of power. This is the ambitious Margrave solo scenario, and this is my part 70. Right, I had a couple of days absent, just work got in the way, but I'm back for another bit of action again. Yeah, might get a couple of parts done today, and I'm off the next couple of days, so we'll see. There'll be other things, but I'm sure I'll be able to squeeze a bit in here and there. Right, quite a few things to talk about here, though. Martin's made quite a few comments. I want to say two sort of mistakes that are not good. One of them that's really annoyed me, which I don't know if I can fix this or not. Another one he mentioned that I could see how easily I got caught out with that. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix that now. Yeah, I think that was that. There was a few comments though, so let's go. This is part 70, so this is from back in part 57. Again, he's got these timestamped. If you want to go and look into what he's talking about here, and then go and check the YouTube footage, He says, I know bots ignore the adjacency requirements when placing influence, but I'm fairly certain it isn't covered in the solo rules, which is unfortunate. Yeah, and I replied, indeed, there's a strange mix of some things being mentioned in the solo rules and others in the main rules. I definitely feel like there could be improvements made to the solo rules set. I think that's true. Yeah, because sometimes and in fact, one of the other things that he points out to me, and I look further on, it's me kind of assuming that I need to go and look at the main rules, and then I didn't. When it's like that, if you're not sure if you do or you don't, it's kind of difficult, like he says, they ignore adjacency when placing influence, but it's not actually mentioned in the solo rules. Well, not that you can see. I haven't went and looked for it myself, but I'm pretty sure he's right, because if you look up influence in the solo rules, you get very little information, if any, I want to say. Yeah, so it's one of these things, and it's strange in the main rules. You see, every so often you see the mention of the bot will do this, and it's a bit odd, Anyway, I do think, look, this game's, it's not a new game, but it's reasonably new in its development, and how it's been, and I think there's improvements could be made to it, and hopefully they will. Maybe they won't. Sometimes things like that just get left. It's good enough, and we'll get on with that sort of thing. But I don't know. Maybe. Anyway. I think I was aware of that. I think I knew that the bots didn't care about it. Although the bit that he timestamps, I think it was me wondering and sort of saying, right, I don't think it matters the fact that they've not got any kind of connection back to, because when we place influence, we need to have either influence adjacent, we need to have a town adjacent, or there's maybe some other conditions, but it doesn't matter to the bot, right? But anyway, Martin's point was it doesn't seem to be in the solo rules anywhere like that. He then mentions a little bit about his playthrough. Perhaps I should have watched this video before taking on all 5 provinces in my own playthrough. And I think he's referring to when we went in here and, oh God, what's the area called? It's all clogged up now. Is it? It's not Saxony, is it? Oh, Westphalia. Yeah, because I took my time, and then I wasn't sure about if I should take on 2 provinces or 3. And in the end, I think I take 3 on, don't I? And then this is me just finishing off by taking the other 2 now. But I'm not really sure how to go about it and whatever. Anyway, he carries on. He says, it turned out I was 1 military point short and could only siege 4. So he must have took on all 5, and then ended up being 1 military point short to be able to siege them all, which meant that 1 was left unsieged. And he says, so now there's 1 independent province, unrest, no claim, no subjugate cards, and the military advisor died. So there's a lot of things kind of went wrong because he kind of must have pushed it a bit further there, whereas I took on the 3, I think it went reasonably smooth, and now we're taking the 2, but you've probably got the manpower to take it on, but there you go, you also got to remember you need 5 military power to siege every province, and not only that, you're only going to get to remove unrest from 2 of them with the claim marker, so then you've got another 3 that are in unrest. Okay, your army's probably still going to be sitting there, so we've found that one to be a mistake. Try and keep some units beside towns that you've got in unrest. But yeah, I replied, yeah, definitely a lot of things I would do differently now after seeing how the game plays out. So that was that for part 57. Right, and this one from 58 at the 41 minute mark. Bots do not take any idea effects into account, and that's in quotes, and he's quoting page 3 in the solo rules. And yeah, I knew this, and at first I wondered what he was on about, because I remember it wasn't Austria. I remember France taking the tolerance idea through an event, and in actual fact, yeah, no, that is right. That is right. I thought he was talking about this at first. I think that's a bit later on, actually. So hopefully that is right, because the way they took that was through an event, and they wouldn't normally take an idea through an event. And it was fair enough them taking that and scoring the points. But what I was, I think, not comfortable about at first, and then I realised, yeah, you should do this, was moving this up because they've taken that idea, So I think that's right, and I thought that's what he was talking about first, but it wasn't. This is earlier on. And what it was, there was an event that allowed hang on. This is probably another. No, the events are all going, Grant. Well, you've got them lying there, mind you. Oh, do we really want to be going through? Let me see if I can quickly. It's the one regarding tolerance. No, you know what? I think these are. Oh, these are each ones. These are the 2 ones. Right, hang on. Right, there it is. Witch Trials, I think. So it was this event we were running, and I can't mind who played it, but that wasn't really relevant. So it was it was the last bit of this, and it says players with a tolerance idea may immediately remove all. Oh no, that's not the one. That's not the one. I knew there was a different one. Yeah, because quite a lot of mention about the tolerance idea, isn't there? Hey, give me a second here. That's bizarre. I cannot find this event. Well, why don't you just click on the video? Click on the link. Hang on. I know what it is. I'm using the text, and this is the reason that it threw me, because I'm using in fact, let's find it. It must be the. Oh, what a state to get in. It was Witch Trials. I think it's Witch Trials 258B. Yeah, that's why I'm not finding it on the actual card, because it was we were using the text from the bot event suggestions, and it is Witch Trials, and the text was all player realms except resolving bot gets 1 unrest. All player realms with tolerance idea get none. So at the time it was France that were resolving it, so they were the resolving bots, so they weren't getting any unrest. Yeah, so all player realms except the resolving bot get 1 unrest. So did we get 1 unrest? Or was it us that were resolving it? No, it couldn't have been, because it's a bot action, isn't it? So I think we must have got 1 unrest. But it also says all player realms with tolerance idea get none unrest. And this is where Martin's saying that the bots don't track the fact that they've got that idea. They get the idea, they score the points, and they tag whatever it is. If it's what is it? Administrative, diplomatic, or military. Administrative, diplomatic, or military. They get a little tag chit there, and then that's where they get the benefits from. But the fact that it says if all player realms with tolerance idea getting on, that just went right over the top of my head. I never thought about the fact that and this was Austria we were talking about, that Austria should not benefit from that because they have the tolerance idea, but like Martin reminds me, that's not relevant to them. So it's a bit of an odd one, that though, because it is in the bit that's dealing with the bot resolution of events, that suggestion file with it. But and that's why I missed it. So I think we should have still considered Austria to be a player realm that's going to get one unrest at that time. Right, this is one I'm not going to try and fix because I looked at it as it was falling on, and I think the next action they took was unrest, and they didn't take it because they had nothing in unrest. So they would have took it then to remove the unrest. So I'm just going to let that one slide by. I know I don't like to do that. I can see how easily I've been tricked by that one, but I'll need to watch that in future. I think it's an easy one to get caught with. I wouldn't be surprised if others maybe got caught with that one too if they were using that. Maybe not. So like I say, I didn't even know what Martin was talking about at first, and I thought, yeah, no, what was he on about? And then I was like, right. So anyway, yeah, just going to have to let that one go because it's too. I mean, I could right now pick unrest in Austria, but I think that's unfair to do it now. You know, it would have to been done at the time. So I'll just leave it and take note of it. Right. This is quite a. First when I started reading this, I wasn't sure about how to bring all this in. This is from part 59, 16 minute 45 seconds. By the way, I did mind to make a comment, Martin. I found your timestamps were a little after the fact. I had to go back a little bit. Sorry, I'm maybe just being picky. Unless, maybe not with them all, but I think there was a couple of them I clicked on, and I think it was just slightly before. Anyway, so this is, right, it says this is interesting. Holstein is now part of the HRE. Now, this bit is not what I considered. Let me just, I should have said that before we started. So this is interesting. Holstein is now part of the HRE. Right, now this is Holstein here. And this is the bit it's inside the HRE, right? Well, I mean, I see. I'm thinking Holstein's always been part of the HRE, but not if it was controlled by Denmark at the time. I think that maybe that's why he's got it worded that way. But he also continues, which makes Jutland an HRE area. Now, I wouldn't have thought about it that way. I mean, this is in the HRE because the little lines come across there. So this is inside it. And yeah, I'm just clicking there now that I think that the reason for that is, and it wasn't in the HRE before, was because Denmark had it and they're not part of the HRE. So I never really clicked to that bit. But he's now also then saying that means that all of Jutland is part of the HRE, which I wouldn't have considered that myself as well. Whether that's any big deal or not, I'm going to assume he's confident about that being right, and it's not just this province that's within the HRE and the rest of the area is not. It does seem a bit daft, so he's possibly got that right in that thinking, but I don't know if it's relevant or not anyway. But so he says, which makes Jutland an HRE area where the Emperor has unlimited MAC when defending the HRE. So yeah, so when the Emperor's in the HRE, he's got a connection. He's got a connection all the way back to his capital city if it's all through the HRE. It doesn't matter what's in the way. But this is only when it's defending the HRE, isn't it? And I think we get to a bit like that where Austria becomes the aggressor and that doesn't apply, and I almost make a mistake with it, but I think I get there. He says, I can't see that it matters if the HRE area is owned by the Emperor or another member. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, he's talking about Austria owning it. Yeah, okay. I assume this means that when Austria is the aggressor, their Mac in Jutland is limited to MC plus 3, which is equal to 7. But when the HRE is attacked, it is unlimited. And that's right, I think that's what happens. Is it not at some point we do that and I have to calculate that the Mac is only 7 at the time because they're in Jutland and they're not defending the HRE. I think that's what he's saying there. And I reply, yeah, I think this was the conclusion I came to. And I believe that Austrian aggressor Mac gets put into effect later. I think we do have to deal with that. I think that's what he's saying there. And then the next comment is, I don't think bots are limited by MC, which is military capacity, when they recruit units. They recruit up to the limit, then they set aside those that are unavailable due to MAC. And I was like, okay. And I think I delved into this a bit because, to be honest, the reply I got, I went and got confirmation on the Discord, and Mick's reply was like a reply I'd already got from him, to be honest. But I replied to Martin, okay, this is one of those that I felt needed to be based on the main rules. I says, I think you're right, though. Yeah, it was one of the ones that I thought, are the bots, bound by the military capacity? They've got MAC, but are they bound by military capacity in this state? But I says, I think you're right, though, and then I pointed to I linked the bit which, talking about recruiting units, and funny enough, this is the bit that Mick linked back to me in his reply when I went and asked the question. So, it's up on another bit of the page. So it is recruiting units. It's just there. So it's on page 5. Bots recruit as many units as indicated by the action they are executing up to the limit of their manpower. If manpower is lower than the number of units, it doesn't matter. That bit there, just saying, that's the only bit. I mean, that's a bit of line. Bots recruit as many units as indicated by the action they're executing up to the limit of the manpower. So, and then I carry on that say it doesn't give any suggestion that MC is considered. That says I may just ask this on the Discord to be sure. Asked on the Discord, yeah, and Mick's reply. So when recruiting, they do not care about military capacity. However, military capacity is taken into consideration sometimes, and this is when it down here, if we come down here, is considered is taken into consideration sometimes when checking for MAC, maximum army capacity, which can determine if the bot needs to lay down any units that they have in their army. And that's what Martin says, that he says, don't think they need to bother at MC, they're just going to lay units down if they go over the MAC. And as long as they've got a connection to the capital, the MAC's going to be unlimited, so it doesn't matter. If there is an issue with that, it's going to be +3, and then they're MC +3. So, unfortunately with that, again, I think I should just take note of this and not try and do anything about it. Because I think at that point, I did calculate, can you not go, hang on. Yeah, that's when I think I'm backtracking. It all gets a bit messy in some of these bits. It's difficult to sort of work it out. I think I'm just going to leave this as well, although, yeah, that does feel kind of bad that I'm doing that, but it's that long ago, I don't know what I can really do about it. I mean, I look at the situation, there's some army in here, some in there, the army miniature of Austria is up here, and I'm also backtracking at the time, trying to fix something. So I'm just going to leave it. I get the feeling it probably didn't make any difference. Well, I don't think it made any difference because they would have calculated. Well, it might well have done because I think what happened was we recruited. What is it? Is it 9 units we're recruiting when they do the recruit? And I want to say that I only recruited. I think this was only a single as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3. I would maybe have only recruited possibly 3. Taken multi capacity into it, and I would only recruited 7 units instead of the 9. Whereas the 9 should have been recruited, and then if it checked for Mac there, it would have then got reduced to 7. So 2 would have got set as laying down. So yeah, and I'm going to just leave that. I mean, I now know how to do it properly, and hopefully I'll remember. And I get the feeling it probably wouldn't have had too much of an effect there, but obviously I want to be doing these things right. But it's just sometimes when they're that far back, these things, you've just got to let them go and take note that you've made a mistake there, you know. Right, moving on. Right, and then this is the one I'm going to try and fix because this is a blunder. There was another comment as well about I'm asking about how I ran the event, but I don't need to talk about that. I've explained it in the answer. It was regarding how much bot power Austria had got at the time or something. But I did it right. It was a messy bit, and I maybe wasn't explaining what I was doing. And I although you know I'm saying the bot will gain bot power, and I'm maybe not putting my camera over it and whatever, and it can be a little unclear, especially when I'm going on a bit and whatever. But I explained to him what I'd done, and it's what he thought. Anyway, this is from part 63, at the just 1 minute 45 second mark. It says the event targets a French area. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not going to look for the event. Well, actually, I might have to. So, right, hang on. Okay, so it was the French event Wars of Religion. I want to say I played it myself. Did I? Is that right? Oh no, maybe not. No, I don't think so. I'm just wondering about the bot event 2042. Right, so the bot suggestions. So I think it was France that took it after all. So there's an option A for the France bot or option B for other bots, I guess. Option A, France bot will add Protestant token, 3 unrest and 3 rebel units to area with lowest French tax income. France bot gains tolerance for free. Get the feeling... oh no, that's when it gains the tolerance. Yeah, that's when it gains tolerance, and then I decide to give the tag shit across there. Well, Martin's not said anything about that, so I'm assuming that was right to give the wee chit across there. I think it's right because whenever they get an idea, they should benefit from this along here. I think. Anyway, like he points out though, I mean, although it doesn't word it there as it doesn't word it there as French area, but on the card you can see it's add a Protestant token, 3 unrest and 3 rebels in any French area. Right, well, like he points out, at the time, I mean, it's alright now, this is a French area, but at the time France were just occupying these towns. They had just sieged them, and they were both in unrest and both occupying. And that's all that they had in there. So that wasn't a French area. And I'm annoyed with myself because I picked up on that recently. I want to say it was... In fact, hold on. Was it not regarding this down here? Yeah, I think it was this. Because right now, this is not a French area. Because it's occupying it. So I think it was quite recent that happened. So like he says the event targets a French area. An area is considered part of a realm if it contains any provinces owned by that realm. So I would argue that France couldn't pick Brittany and Normandy. Yeah, so, and there were many, you know what, again, can I really fix this? The one thing I'd like to do is move the Protestant token, but where would it have... Did it give a breakdown of how you would pick the French area and the boat suggestion? 3 unrest and 3 rebel units. The area with lowest French tax income. Yeah. So, yeah, of course, that's why I picked that, because it was only 2, but it wasn't owned by. So, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, there's lots of 5s, isn't there? Then it would go alpha. Yeah, I looked at this already and I thought, well, it would be an Aquitaine, wouldn't it? It's alphabetically the one, isn't it? So, if the problem with that is we then had a cluster and a Protestant token that spread from there to there. Now, how is that spread then? See, maybe you should just leave this, Grant. Yeah, I think I'll just leave this as well, because I would have to move this. Yeah, I thought maybe I could move the Protestant tokens, because that shouldn't really be in there. But then that would then mean this one's spreading somewhere else. And the thing is, this unrest might well be because this is the Protestant tokens here. So I think I'll leave it. I think I'm safer leaving it. Well, that's 3 glitches there, Grant, that you've not even changed. Yeah, I don't like that at all, but I'm pointing out the errors. It's the best I can come up with there. But yeah, that was a daft one. But again, quite easy to miss. You know, it's based on this little occupied token being underneath, and you know, if I come back to the game and I'm, you know, got this on top, I can see it clearly underneath, and I knew what was happening up there, but it was a bit of a shame. Anyway, that's it. That's yeah, 27 minutes just talking about some things that went wrong. Well, can't we just carry on? I do need to take a break in a little bit, but I think I'm okay just now. Right, give me a second. Right, let's just work out if I need to take a break there, but my good lady wife says she will get me some beer, because I was going to go and get some beer at the shops. She's going to do it for me. She's awfully good to me. Okay. Right, I was checking where we're at as well. And we just took the event. Yeah, because like I said, it's been a couple of days since I've had a shot. So we took the event. We've marked as taking our event. Austria have already passed. France haven't taken the event yet, and obviously I haven't passed yet. So they are going to take the event. Actually, I'm saying we would get one more action, but we're going to get 2, aren't we? Because they're going to take the event, we'll get an action. Then they're going to pass, we'll get one more action and pass. Yeah, so I was thinking we would only get 1. So, and then, well, we've got to see what event they're going to take. This depends, because we want to get that ruler. And if they don't take that card as their event, we will need to use the 2 administrative power to get the event, to get the ruler. And yeah. And the thing is, the other card's a triangle, isn't it? That's not really relevant, is it? I mean, this guy's getting hit anyway, so don't think it matters. Well, did we have another advisor? Oh yeah, the general we've got is a triangle. Yeah, and I was looking back on all this nonsense. If I'd just read the card properly, the one that we were trying to pick this from the discard pile, or we ended up picking this guy in the end anyway. However, if I'd kept, what was his name? Simon. If I'd just kept that card, it would cost me extra 2 ducats. I'm well over this already. And then I would have been able to use that, trigger that mission and get somebody else from the discard pile, and then appoint Simon anyway. So that turned out to be a bit of a blunder, actually. I want to say we could have had a better. Well, we probably could have had a better. He's going to die anyway. Probably could have had a +2 in there, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so it's France to go, isn't it? Yeah, I believe so. Okay, France to go, but they are going to take their event. There was only 2 choices up there for the event, and I see there's only 1 ducat on each. I remember messing about with the ducats, knowing that they were going to get the bot power anyway, no matter which one they picked, and the actual amount of ducats didn't matter, did it? So we kind of want them to take. Well, I'm saying that I'm not sure what they're going to do, but we kind of want them to take our event here, because then we can just enlist or get that ruler for free. Whereas if they take this event, we can still get this ruler at the end, but we're going to have to pay the administrative power for it. But I don't know what all this all might do something. I don't know if I looked at this, to be honest. Right, anyway, event action. So there's a left event and a right event. Well, you know what, they're going to roll a dice, so. And that is definitely what they're doing, isn't it? Their bot power is, they've only got 2 bot power left. They're not, well, they are, no, they're not classed as being at war. Oh, hold on. No, they are at war, Grant. They're at war with Austria. Don't think it matters. They're not under attack by enemies or rebels. Yeah, there was a big battle, wasn't there? And they won. France won. France have got 2 of an army left. Austria have got nothing. So that, and their army's off the map, so off the board. So that tells me that Austria lost that battle. So they're not under attack by enemies or rebels. Their army is on the map, but they cannot siege. Doesn't apply. That is the case. Their spend is greater than what they've got left. They are at war, but they've only got 2 bot power left. So have they picked the event? No, they have not. So they're going to go to the event. Yeah. So they are going to do the event, which is what we thought. So event already taken? No, so they're going to roll dice. Let's just roll it. I think I want our one, so I think I want them to take the rightmost event. Okay. Well, the 1, that's going to be the leftmost, isn't it? Yeah, leftmost revealed event, gain 1 bot power. Okay, so you can see them up there. So that does mean, so I'll take these off. That does mean that they're taking Protestant Union. So I'll bring that down over here. And then there's nothing to resolve on the bottom of this card, but we will still be able to pick it. So I need to keep 2 administrative power for him. So let's deal with the French event first. Well, I'm going to have to look up the suggestion file again. So give me a second. Protestant Union 34A1. Right, okay, the first part of the text is bots ally highest Protestant tax income. And this is not in the bold, so it's not going to remove everything. I mean, there is an A and a B here, but it's not. I mean, obviously the flowchart's going to select. It's not an opponent's event, so it's going to select option A. It's not got 10 bot power left after. We're going to resolve the secondary effects, and then it's going to end the turn. So what does it say? Each non-HRE player realm may gain an alliance with 2 Protestant NPR imperial subjects where they have influence. Player realms. Right, okay. Let's just follow what the suggestion says. So, bots ally highest Protestant tax income, and then there's something else to come. So, but this is France, so they're wanting to ally the highest Protestant tax income. Oh no, that's going to be England. No. No, because they're not Protestant, no, Grant. Right, hang on there. Each non-HRE player realm, which is France, right, may gain an alliance with 2 Protestant NPR imperial subjects where they have influence. Again, we're not following this by that. Highest Protestant tax. I mean, how the heck? But I mean, I started thinking England, but I mean, England's not. England's Catholic still. These 3 areas are in a Protestant. Well, sorry, these 3 provinces are now in a Protestant area. But I mean, the same when I look here for that. This one's in a Protestant area. I was thinking them, it's going to ally with them, but oh, I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not sure I'm getting this. Hang on. And the follow-up bit is place claim on highest tax income adjacent area. I'm not sure how, because I don't know how to deal with this. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Because although this is a Protestant area, I can't. England aren't Protestant, but then it's maybe not saying that. I mean, unless can they ally with us? I mean, we are Protestant. Can it have an alliance with Brandenburg? I suppose I'm just assuming it's got to be an NPR, but I do not know where to start thinking about how this works or anything. I'm just totally stumped here. I mean, if I was looking at it on the card, would that help me at all? Maybe help me work it out what's trying to be achieved here. Each non-HRE player realm, okay, so this could be France, may gain an alliance with 2 Protestant NPR imperial subjects. Well, 2 Protestant NPR imperial subjects is something within the HRE that's an NPR that's Protestant. I mean, see when a Protestant marker gets put into the area, does it turn the NPR Protestant? Thing is, I mean, this Protestant marker's in here. I mean, we know Austria is Catholic. That's having to suffer every time because that's in religious dissent. There's another Protestant marker in there, but we've got all control of that. The only 2 are along here, Protestant marker in here, and this is left. This isn't French, and Protestant marker in here, and these aren't French either. That's the only 2 areas that sort of look like anything could come of. I mean, these are not imperial subjects. However, the suggestion file doesn't delve into that. It just says 2 Protestant. It just says ally the Protestant with the highest tax income. I mean, that's why I thought England at first, but then I thought, well, hold on, England aren't Protestant, are they? Yeah, I can see a question brewing already. Thing is, it's got to be based on the wording of the bot suggestion for this event. Really wish they'd picked another event now. Because this is just... yeah. Well, I'll go and see if I can find some information on how to do this. I think what you need to find out first, Grant, is you need to understand that this Protestant markers in this area, well, how does that affect these three provinces? And this one in this area, I mean, does that mean they're Protestant? Or does that mean that they count for what we're trying to do here? Okay, right, that's me back. I've been on pause for quite a bit there. I did have to go and ask about how to try and deal with this, and Mix was standing by to help out. He needed to have some idea what was going to happen with, well, what was going on with my question. So I took a picture and uploaded that. And so what he's explained to me, what a bit that I didn't get at first was, it needs to be an HRE Protestant realm. And I think I was reading that in the text. Remember, the text for the suggestion, it's not in bold, so it doesn't replace around here. It just kind of adds to it. You know what? It's not ideal, but then it's not an official document. And what I would kind of like to see that better supported and followed up and improved. Maybe they will come to that at some point, because it's quite hard. But then it's quite hard to carry out this action for the bot as well, you know, without, and that's why these suggestions are meant to make things easier. But with this one, you've kind of got to look at what's going on, and also, you know, because it's additional information here to this, and there's no mention of A or B in the suggestion either. It just covers both A and B. So you've kind of got to work some of it out for yourself. But so what does it say? It says each non-HRE player realm, right? So may gain an alliance with two pros. So let's say it was an HRE player realm right here. Now this wouldn't work, would it? It just so happens that it's France doing this. But if it was Austria, they are an HRE player realm. So they wouldn't do this at all. And then you get the Emperor gains 1 military power for each claim placed. Yeah. Right. I think I'll just deal with how Mix has helped me out to make this work. What he suggests, he says is there's 2 questions to the part to the suggestion. One is a Protestant HRE realm. Bot's ally with the highest Protestant tax income. Yeah, and then he does explain to me that as an HRE realm. And then the other one is you put a claim adjacent to that area that's got the highest tax income. Well, apparently we're kind of getting lucky because none of this is happening, because all the areas in HRE that are Protestant, now, again, it needs to be in the HRE. So us looking over here wasn't really relevant anyway. So this one, he says all the areas are owned by player realms. This Brandenburg's owned by player realms. Pomerania is owned by player realms. This one's owned by player realms. He does mention owned or at war, and these are at war, so this obviously doesn't come into it either. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, remember, is outside the HRE, isn't it? Prussia, but on saying that, it's not. It's owned by a player realm as well, so that's not relevant either. So, and this one was at war. So he says, so they can't gain an alliance And because they can't gain alliance, then they can't place a claim adjacent. So I get from that they're not going to do anything at all. What I wanted to sort of work out though is because, coming back to here and us saying that England, these were here, but I mean they're not classed as Protestant, are they? But they're in a Protestant area, so. So what I tried to get from that is, so I've asked the follow-up question. Unfortunately, I got dragged away and I didn't get to ask this question. Well, hang on, he's just answered it just now. My follow-up question was, right, so I think I'm getting this. So let's just say as an example that Nuremberg wasn't occupied by Austria, owned by Austria anymore, right? Let's just say that was the situation. Nuremberg's just an NPR. And it's in this Protestant area, right? And it's available. So would that mean France get a claim with that? And then my adjacent, not a claim with that, an alliance with that. And then it would put a claim adjacent to that area that's had the highest tax income. Well, this area here's got 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think this is the highest tax income. So my guess is an alliance with Nuremberg and a claim in Bavaria and Swabia. Well, let's just go and see what he has to say about that. Because I just need to understand if I'm getting it right. So he's come back with a yep to that, and he said that because Bavaria and Swabia have 6 and there's no other one adjacent to win more. So I'm on the right thinking of that. So interesting that, see, I think what I sort of considered is, I'm not sure why, but I just kind of felt like this originally was Catholic, but then it's in a Protestant area, Grant. But what happens over here though? I mean, okay, these don't apply because they're outside the HRE here, but does that mean right now, I mean, it surely doesn't mean England is Protestant, does it? Because they've got realms in a Protestant area. But if this area was part of the events, if it wasn't just suggesting a Protestant area in the HRE, if it was just Protestant area, then that suggests to me that France could have an alliance with England. And then the claim would go, I don't know where it would go. Possibly would, I don't know, alliance and a claim and the same. No, you couldn't have that, could you? Could you? Oh, I can't remember. I'm getting myself all flustered here. Okay. Oh, well, we've got the answer there, and I couldn't see myself working out what to do there, to be honest. But it seems we're doing nothing. Because if they can't place an alliance, then they can't place a claim, and then that's it. I mean, I also got B down the bottom here, but there wasn't an A and a B option. Well, hold on here, Grant. If we're following the flow chart, then we ignore B. We are resolving just A, aren't we? The flow chart says that it's just A. So, and then the Emperor gains 1 military power for each claim placed. Well, there's no claims placed either. So, if there was a claim placed, whether I should have gave the Austrian bot a bot power or not, that's another question, actually. Nah, I wish I hadn't closed that off now. Well, not that I couldn't chuck it in there. Because remember, the text that came in for the suggestion wasn't in bold. It wasn't replacing it all. It was adding to it. So I think if a claim had been placed there, that Austria, being the emperor, would have gained 1 bot power for the claim placed. I'll leave that one there with you then and see what if anybody wants to comment on that and if they agree with that or if they think, no, that was not part of the suggestion. But remember, like I say, it wasn't in bold text. which suggests to me it was in addition to some other things. Anything that's different in here still comes into it, you know. It's difficult to work on that though, because a lot of the stuff is talking about where they have influence in there, and that's not mentioned in the suggestion as well. So anyway, okay, right, we'll leave it at that. So they're not going to do any of that. However, we do have some of this to do. So this one doesn't apply. We know this one does. So this is going to spread again. This is going to be, remember, this is the bot doing this. So it's going to be auto resolution. Now the slight differences are use auto resolution rules, except one, you spread own state of religion first. Well, France's state of religion is Catholic, so that's not applicable. But if they had been either Protestant or the Reformed one, then you do that one first. Whereas I think in the auto resolution rules it says to do Protestant first, I think. Prefer options that would not cause religious dissent for the resolving pot. And then 3, prefer options that would remove religious dissent. So we're going to spread, there's 2 clusters to spread, isn't there? So we need, and it's just Protestant again, so we need 2 more Protestant markers. So I'll get them. Right, so looking at auto resolution, the main rules though. Starts with Protestant, like I said, into adjacent areas. Preference goes to areas with at least one town, then to areas with provinces of the highest total tax value. Break ties in alphabetical order by area name. But remember, we've got to remember that the bot might intervene with some of their preferences or adjust them slightly. So, well, this one up here. Right, so it's linked here. Well, hang on, which one do we do? Because there's 2 clusters here, so right, hang on though. Where's if there are more clusters in play, how do you decide on the first cluster that gets picked? It doesn't, I don't think it tells you that. It just says, once you've placed the first one, if there are more clusters in play and you've placed less than 4 this turn, go back and do step 1 again, but this time also adhering to the restrictions below. If there's more than 1 infectious faith and you've already placed 2 of the one type, you must place 1 of the other types. You may not replace another. Yeah, okay. Right, I don't think it decides between the 2, to be honest. So let's look at the bigger one first then, since it's got a cluster of 4. It's just these could end up joining up, couldn't they? To the other cluster. The other cluster's is 2. And yeah, I know we made a mess of this, but I'm just leaving it now. It's going to be too messy to try and sort in with that. So we'll just that's where they are, right? So adjacent to a town here, so that's a no and a no of an area, and we're looking at this, the end of this cluster here. This is a possibility. That's not. Thing is, up over into. Oh, hang on, no. These, remember, these are NPRs now, Grant. These aren't towns. Yeah, I mean, we just left them on there, but they just represent NPR towns, towns of Denmark, don't they? Oh, hang on, no. We've got also here, haven't we? Bavarian, Swabia, Rhineland, they're both adjacent to that. I think it could just be one of them, actually. No, hold on. You've also got Jutland, Grant. Jutland is adjacent to this, to Pomerania. So what was it? It was towns. Needs to have a town, and then province with the highest total tax value. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Highest total tax value to me means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what that means. That's still a 5 as well. And that's still, yeah. And this is going to be a 6 because we just counted this earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's going to be Bavarian Swabia then. Yeah. Well, that's nasty then for the Austrians, but well, it could have been either that or Jutland maybe. That would have been bad for them too. But I think you've got to, I mean, it just says highest total tax value. To me means you count all the realms, all the provinces in there. And the fact this was a bigger one, when it's not a bigger one underneath, I think you still count that as a 2, don't you? Okay, so I think first one's going to go in there then, and that's a spread from that. So and that doesn't affect. That's not affected France in any way that it would. I mean, that's not caused religious dissent for France. That's what I'm trying to say. However, it would want to try and remove religious dissent if it could, but it's not going to be able to do that because the only religious dissent France has got is these 2 Protestant areas, and putting another Protestant area is that doesn't help. It's not going to remove it. So the other cluster is going to be it's going to be down here somewhere, isn't it? Because it can't go to there. Well, it could go here from here. And what did I say? This is a 2, 3, 4, 5. But what I say there's a 7 in here, isn't there? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, it's going in here. Well, hold on. But this is France's territory, so they're not going to be able to. Well, I don't think so, because use all resolutions. Spread demonstrate religion first if applicable. Prefer options that would not cause religious dissent for the resolving bot. Ah, yeah, well, it can intervene there then. Prefer options that would... It doesn't have to pick here. It wants to prefer a town, one with a town, but it wants to prefer not causing religious dissent to itself. So the option of here, here, or here is not good for the French. However, this is adjacent to here, so I think I can target here then. I mean, it can also target an area that's not got a town. It doesn't, it doesn't have to say that, but the preference is something with a town, if there was one. So this is one with a town that is not causing religious dissent for France. I'm going to say it's going to go in there. And what that then means is we've now only got one cluster again, because this joins up to this and then joins up to that. Okay. Well, I think so. That's about the best we're going to get. Alright, so moving on with the rest of the secondary effects, we have Rebel Dice. This is France doing this first, so remember they only have to roll 1 because they are resolving this. They've got 3 areas that were in unrest, but again, they only need to roll 1 Rebel Dice. Yeah. Right. So here we go. Oh, and they get a rebellion. That's not good for them then, because their army is not. The army is not in the area, and it needs to be. Why is their army not? Because it had a battle, didn't it? I think is that where Austria came and fought them. Yeah. Right, so they've got a rebellion. What does that mean again? Yeah, no, I want to see the bit in the bot rules where it says it targets the army, but I'm not sure it's got to be rebellion. Where does it tell us that? Use standard bot choice process for applying rebellions. Use standard bot choice process for applying rebellions and removing unrest, except that they will always apply rebellions in the area where the army is located if possible. Yeah, well, the army is located in here, but it needs to be at a time of unrest, doesn't it? So that's not going to help them here. So we're just going to use standard bot choice process from page 3. Yeah, okay, so it's got three different options. Hang on though. No, we need to follow no. Rebellion, the main rules here, 37. If you have any military units in the area, you roll for remove one of your units. There's a casualty for each rebellion result rolled. Well, that we can't do that. If you have no units to remove, you must assign each rebellion result to one of your towns/vassals with unrest of your choice in that area. So yeah, so we go looking through the process. Well, this is going to hurt them. So do we look lowest tax value? No, because we're targeting an actual province, Grant. Well, yeah, we would if one of these was a large town, we would target the small town. Yeah, but they're all small towns. So it's basically alphabetically. So this one's Corsica. And then we've got Anjou, and yeah, well, it's going to be Anjou then, isn't it? So Anjou is not cord. That's going to go away then, isn't it? So this is if you assign it to a core province, you must place a rebel town on top of it. Well, it's not a core province, because that's the French flag they are. You can see Anjou's, what is that again? It's not that one. What am I thinking? Provence. Yeah. Provence is down there and then Anjou's are way up here. So it is, and it's not cored. You can see this area is not cored. Well, it's not complete, is it? If the chosen province is one that you occupy or is not one of your core provinces, the province is liberated, described in section 14.3. Yeah. Occupied by an enemy. The core province of a realm other than the player realm that owns or vassalizes that. Yeah. Remove the town. Yeah, we're just basically, that town's going back. So that was bad for the French, which is fine by me. I just lost that province. Okay. And then, right, who would be next? It would be me. I don't think I've got any... I do have unrest. The war tokens are trying to hide it, but... Well, at least our army's there, but our army's, kind of... We've got 1 artillery, 1 cavalry, and 1 infantry. So we're going to have to roll 2 dice for that one area. Not good. So we do not want that rebellion result. Yeah. We certainly don't want 2 of them. Come on, a bit of it. Remove some unrest. Come on. That'll do. Oh, yeah, no, manpower goes from available. That was a pretty good result. So that is exhaust, move 1 regular from available or from a deployed unit to exhausted. So, yeah, I'm going to move one of these into here. It's a regular unit as well. And we've still got this allied unit, but... So that was fine. Another one was a blank, so I'll take that result. That was good. And then finally, Austria. Oh, right, they've got any unrest. No, they do not. So no rebel dice rolls for them. And then on the triangles are taking a hat, and unfortunately, we're going to lose our. As he was wounded, I'll show you in a sec. He was wounded. He's a triangle, so he's toast. And that's that event done, right? So now we have this, and I'll just deal with this quickly before I end this video, I think, and then it'll be over to our turn next. So let's just make sure about this, how we do this. Actually, I do want to take this ruler on, because, well, my ruler's taking a wound as well, and this guy's better. He's also a much better general as well. Alright, there we go. This is the talk of the unpicked event here. This is just on page 2 at 12. I think it's mentioned somewhere else in the rules, but well, hang on. It starts down here. It's step 6. If you're the last player to take the event action this round and there is still an unpicked event remaining, which is the case here, it's France Bot that's doing it, but there is one event remaining. Resolve the bottom row of symbols on that event using auto resolution rules. Well, as you can see, there's no secondary effects to resolve. The event text itself in the unpicked event does not take effect. However, if it has a historical ruler on it, the player associated with that event may pay 2 administrative power to appoint the ruler on that card. And that's it. Turn over a face down event if any moon. Okay, so we are doing this. I know it's going to cost me. I was hoping that the French would have run this and then we would just got this guy for free. So I'm going to pay the 2 administrative power, and we are going to shift things about here and replace Johann George I with, and remember he had a wound, so that wound goes away. It doesn't get applied. Well, I don't think so. And we're gonna have Friedrich Wilhelm or whatever it is, the first, without any ill health to him. And this one goes away. That was a 2. I can go in there. Okay. That's fine. I mean, yeah, it did mean that we had to use the power there, but it's kind of annoying because it now means we can't play this. I thought maybe I'll play this because we're now going to have one action. Then the French are going to pass. We'll have another action. So we are going to have 2 more actions. I did get a diplomatic power, so I could run another trade. Say another trade. Yeah, well, to be honest, 2 of our merchants are down already. So maybe that's not such a good idea, really. Although the one that's still up is the Saxony one, which is the one that we probably score best out of. But we've got 3 military power as well. Yeah, hang on. Right, so I got dragged away there, and I just wanted to end the video here as well. So, yeah, that's the part done. So, whether there was an awful lot happened there, I don't think there was. But we've got all the events played. That's the way we played the event. Actually, yeah, got to move France along, and then they're just going to pass next turn. But it's our turn next, so we do have a couple of actions. So I'll think about that maybe before I hit record for the next part. Right, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, cheers.